American woman, can you run with me? American woman, can you lift with me? On Breakfast Bomb.
And Poncho Man, bringing it home. I love that. We are brought to you by ES, Myoplex, Polar, Hoka, One, VeloFix, Normatec. We are at the spectacular Four Seasons Hualalai for our championship edition. Also brought to you by Emio Power Breather. She is our first American finisher, fourth place yesterday to add to her third and her fifth. How about a round of applause for Heather Jackson, American woman. That was pretty fun, huh? Poncho, bringing it home.
That was the best one yet.
That was, right? So you had one of those days where you just had a battle, you and Sarah Crowley, right?
Oh my God. Yeah.
How fun is that when you go back? Because it's fun afterwards. While you're doing it, you just want them to go away.
Oh my gosh, yeah, totally. I've only had that once before. It was actually at San Diego International Tri with Leslie Patterson one year.
Yes.
We're side by side.
On that little sidewalk.
Olympic distance. So
Yes.
This was 26 miles of just within, I think, 20 to 30 seconds at all times.
Yes,
So-
where you're in an energy lab side by side.
Yeah.
Someone's in front, someone's behind. I mean, it's usually when someone passes somebody, that's it. That didn't happen here.
No, yeah, it was, I think, ever since Rinny passed me last year, and I was just kind of like, oh, there she goes. Like, now I have this new, the mentality now of, like, being ready for something like that, and Waddy and my coach Joe, they all drill it in, like, just because someone goes by you at X point or this mile point, it doesn't mean anything. Anything can always happen out there, and
Right.
so even with just a mile to go, it's, you know, she could come up with a cramp or anything can happen. So you can't stop fighting until the finish line.
Now, were there points where you were in a cycling group with Danielle?
I never
Never got quite there.
I was within, I think, a minute or so of them. Like, I could see them. The great thing about the Queen K is you can see, and so I was
Forever.
just reeling them in. And when you have that motivation to get up there, I really pushed it for that kind of second 2/3 of the
Yeah.
bike, and I was trying to get up, and as I was closing, Danny just put the hammer down. I saw her go, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was starting to be like, am I pushing too hard right now?
Yeah.
I was starting to feel it, and I wasn't sure if I had forgotten to fuel and knew the marathon was coming. It was like 20 miles to go, and so then she took off, and then so never got up to those two, even though the
could see 'em.
second half I saw them the whole time, and it was like, oh, if only I was just up there.
But in the past, you wouldn't even see them, right? They were gone.
Yeah.
And you're just sort of by yourself. So being in a mixed, 57-minute swim, that's...
Yeah, that was better.
Yes.
I was not to say I'm disappointed. I thought I would do
more like a
little better.
55-ish.
Yeah,
that 55 is where we want to be. And it's funny, people go, what's a minute? But it makes such a difference being with that person. Well, we saw yesterday in the guys' race, Sebastian, Lionel, Cam Worth together. Then you can ride.
Exactly. And I had a great practice swim here a
Yes.
week prior, and I think it was maybe there's more people overall, so you can get into different groups.
Right.
In the women's field, it splits, and so it's like what group you end up in. I was in that kind of second main group off that 53 group, so it's tough once you're in a pack to like bridge up, or
You really
you're in a
can't.
group.
Yeah,
and
there needed to be a 55 group. Exactly. You needed to. Then before a race, do you talk to the other gals and people who you know are going to swim around you and say, hey, let's try to work together, push the pace, and we're as close as possible to those guys?
I don't chat with them necessarily, but I think you have an idea. And for me, it's been just gaining confidence in that swim start. I used to just literally line up in the back, not even at the front. And it took a few years for Joe and Waddy to be like, you need to push your way up there and actually be at the front part, not
Right.
like line up behind people. So, and then it's taken me another little bit to, I found Danny and lined up next to her yesterday, and then I had Kai's on the other side who we swam very similarly.
Yes.
So at the practice swim, so I knew it was, and then I could see Lucy on the other side of Danny.
Right.
Like, to be near those girls so you have an idea, and not like, okay, I'm not going to be with them already in lining up behind them. So it's taken me years to kind of
To
gain
get to
that
that
confidence
point,
and
yeah.
be like, you need to be aggressive, and this is where the race can be made or broken. And so I'm at that, and now I've got
A third,
another
fourth, fifth.
another
I like
year
it.
now to hopefully improve that even more.
So what are your takeaways from this? Because you improved across the board, great year, and fourth place, but the competition keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. All of a sudden, you've got Lucy Charles going off the front, and Haley Chura's up there, and Lauren Brandon was up there, and it's changing, right? That we saw it both in the men's and women's races where, swimmers got out there, and then the people rode the bike hard. It seems like the people are riding harder than in the past.
Yeah, I mean, Lucy Charles is incredible. She's young. She's, I would say up and coming, but she's here. She's not
there.
up and coming.
Yeah, right.
I think it's a game changer. I mean, in the past it was talking about ITU girls are stepping up to the half, and the half distance is going to change. And it's like now we have these people changing the fulls. You have to ride hard, because when she has a gap like that and she's here, she's so young. It's the future of Kona. So the swim game has changed yet again, and so people are going to have to ride hard when you have such an incredible swim talent off the front like that, and she's got the bike as well and the run. So, and she's only going to develop even more with time on her legs and endurance. So, it's just changing the game. And again, it's just, got to get someone like me has to get the swim up more, and then it does force people to ride harder. And so across the board, people are going to have to up their game here in Kona.
So when you're third, fourth, and fifth here, obviously there's something about this place that works for you. What is it? What do you like about this race? It's the biggest spotlight, right? It's the most important race. All the sponsors are here. All the pressure is here. You seem to rise to that occasion.
Thank you. Yeah,
that's true.
I love the big races. I target this race. It's a world championship. It's the best girls, and I focused my entire year on this. And for me, it's I train all year physically and mentally to be ready for that. I like the pressure. I like all the hype and the can you perform on the day when it's asked of you. And so it's a special place here. This island is incredible. I love the people and the vibe and the atmosphere and just everything that comes with being here in Kona. And it's one of those races for me in my career. I have a few out there that I just go back to over and over. I love them. They're hard courses. The
collection of hard between Alcatraz and Wildflower. Yeah.
And Kona. Yeah. So it's one of those. Yeah. It's just I love this race, and it's my goal. And I'll just keep coming back and trying to knock on that.
Well, and you have to gain confidence when someone like a Patrick Lange, third one year, and then boom, he wins the thing. When you look at 70.3 and a half, I think is really that's the sweet spot, right? That's a great distance for you because you can race that, you can run hard. This year, was it hard not going to Chattanooga? I'm sure you're thinking, man, I want to go to Chattanooga, but I also want to do Kona. And how do you do both?
Yeah, it was really hard for me just because I love Chattanooga. I do the half in May there, and it's a great town, and the world champs were here in the U.S., and I still was going back and forth just a few weeks out if I should just go. And at the end of the day, I'm happy I didn't, because I was able to put literally everything I could towards Kona. And for me, it was coming here. Part of that is just having the mental confidence to know I did everything I possibly could, and I left everything I had out there yesterday. And maybe if I had gone to Chattanooga, I would be sitting here now thinking like, oh, if only I hadn't done that, I could have prepped even better. So right. I don't have that. It's bittersweet to be fourth and not be back on the podium, but I know I left.
Still on stage. Come on now. Yeah.
No, I'm super happy. I know I gave it everything, and I couldn't be happier with that. So,
and there was also a lot of Wadi Inc. people out there. That's got to give you a little power every time someone starts screaming at you.
Oh man, yeah, it's been crazy. Wadi and I are so grateful to everyone for their support of us and the brand. It's just more and more people are getting behind it and trying it out and loving the products, and so we're just so appreciative for all the support in this sport. And yeah, it's crazy the number of kits I saw out there and people just yelling. Anytime there's a Wadi kit, people are just cheering support, and so we're just so grateful for that.
Love it. Hey Heather, congrats on another awesome race. Fourth place, first American, Miss Heather Jackson.
Thanks, Bob.
American woman, can you swim with me? American woman, can you eat with me? And breakfast with Bob.
Yeah! Macho Man!
And